in shot clock situations.
Right.
I think also too, there's gonna be an injury. There's gonna be injuries on this team. There's always some kind of injury during the end of the season, towards the end of the season. I think Morris would be a great fit in Cleveland.
I think he would as well.
If they could change his attitude like they did with J.R. Smith, then I would say yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, one report today was that Josh Smith was traded from the Clippers, headed back to Houston.
This is a big day in the NBA.
Traded back to Houston for two mid-30-year-old overseas players, the draft rights to them, and cash. Pretty much, it looks like a steal for Houston, but the Clippers weren't really getting much production from him. So, Monk, what do you think about Josh Smith heading back to Houston?
Oh, I think it's going to be great. I think he's going to absolutely go off. I'm planning on picking him up for fantasy pretty soon here. I think he might take him a couple games, get back in the rotation, but I think he's going to end up starting over Trevor Ariza by the end of the season.
Over Trevor Ariza?
Over Trevor Ariza. Yep.
Not over Terrence Jones?
Over Trevor Ariza.
I'm going to say over Terrence Jones. But, Jeff, you have any insight about Josh Smith?
Well, I mean...
Or any breakdown of the deal?
I mean, he didn't really do much in L.A. The Clippers, I don't really think the Clippers had any use for him really. But I think Houston, I think by playoff time he will start. I don't know who he's going to start over, but I mean it's.
Well, and I think the reason I said over Trevor Ariza, I think what's going to happen with Houston is if they get their crap together and they get into the playoffs, and obviously they're going to have to get past the Warriors.
Yeah.
So what I think is going to happen is what was the biggest downfall for the Warriors all season has been injuries, and them, they're a bunch of day-to-day injuries, stuff like that. So I think if you're the Houston Rockets and this team that was healthy all last year, but they've all been healthy for so long, how can you beat them? I think what you do is you put in a bunch of big men. You go big on them, even because they're small, and you beat them up, and you try to force it into them. And someone's bound to get injured on that team. They're so small that you can't. I don't think you can win with that lineup in the long run. And so I think if Houston takes Ariza out and puts in Josh Smith, Terrence Jones, Dwight, and then has James Harden and Ty Lawson in, I think that team could, have Harden and Lawson run the floor to tire out the Warriors, and then have the big men really wear them down. Especially think about
pick and roll situation.
Yeah, exactly. Think about Terrence. I mean, you're gonna have Draymond, who's an undersized 4, guarding Terrence Jones, not even Josh Smith, and I think they could absolutely beat up on the Warriors with that lineup.
Absolutely. Well, in other NBA news, there was a trade that tried to go through, but didn't happen. The Kings offered the Pelicans Rudy Gay for Ryan Anderson, and the Pelicans said no, which, to be completely honest, I have no idea what the Pelicans are doing, because Ryan Anderson comes off the bench. You have a chance to add Rudy Gay and still have Drew Holiday, Tyreek Evans.
I think small forwards were they're short, too.
Tyreek Evans is playing the point guard for the team.
Exactly.
I mean, you just have Cunningham, or was it I think it was Pondexter or Cunningham. One of them went down. Pondexter went down, and he was pretty heavily relied on as a defensive player. So, the Kings are in the playoff picture for one.
Yeah.
And they're willing to give up Rudy Gay. Because Caspi and Bellinelli have been doing well. They're trying to get more minutes for them. And let's face it, Sacramento is short on the power forward spot. They're playing DeMarcus there right now.
So what do you guys think about starting? Why don't they start Cauley-Stein?
They are right now.
They are starting Cauley-Stein. They are starting.
He's going off. He's actually doing very well for him.
What's the why not do that? Is what I don't understand.
I don't understand. The Kings, first of all, they shouldn't have. Unless you're trying to get rid of Rudy Gay, which Rudy Gay has much more value than Ryan Anderson, in my opinion.
I think people forget who Rudy Gay really is.
Yeah,
because Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm really surprised by the Kings even offering this trade because George Karl was just talking about finding a core group of guys and sticking with them, creating chemistry. I think if this trade did go through, then you lose such a core part of this team and Rudy Gay, and you have a bunch of chemistry. I think you'd have a bunch of chemistry issues if you lose Gay. But Rudy Gay is, I mean, such a great player. To me, he's one of the few players in this league that, to me, is a borderline all-star. I think in the sense that he creates so many problems for the other teams. I mean, besides KD and LeBron and Melo, and Paul George. There aren't many people at his position that can guard him. But I mean, for the Pelicans, I mean, why wouldn't you accept this trade?
Right. I still don't know what the Pelicans.
My thing was, I felt like the whole thing was backwards. I thought that the Pelicans would be shopping Ryan Anderson for a Rudy Gay type, and that the Kings would say no. I'm just surprised that they're trying to mess up that chemistry, and that the Pelicans are like, no, we're set. Even though Rudy Gay isn't Rudy Gay a little? Are they the same age as Ryan Anderson?
They're about the same. I think Ryan Anderson's 27. Rudy Gay is about 27
right now.
Yeah.
They're about the same age. There's no like thing. Rudy Gay has a year remaining on his contract. Ryan Anderson is an expiring contract.
So there's 2 expiring contracts in the deal.
No, Rudy Gay is a year after this year.
Oh, so that's actually longer term for
The Pelicans, correct. So maybe the Pelicans have off-season plans
to get a Ben Simmons.
Rudy's
No.
2 years older.
Their team has dropped so how many? What?
Rudy Gay is 2 years older than
Ryan Anderson? No way.
Yeah, Rudy Gay has been in the league for a while.
And that might be why they're not doing it.
Are they?
Still, I think Rudy Gay still.
That much
You're only
upside, though.
I think the
Rudy
Pelicans.
Gay needs to go to.
I think the Pelicans would become somewhat contenders to,
Yeah.
make a playoff run.
If you have Gay to the next, during free agency next year, that's a really attractive place to go for free agents.
Exactly.
We have a big 3.
Say exactly. You have Drew Holiday at the point guard. Say they slip him in there. Tyreek at the 2 now instead of the point, and now you can have Rudy Gay at the 3 with Davis and Ashik.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're Hassan Whiteside, and you have a chance to play with those guys,
Great.
I mean, can you imagine that lineup? Drew
Holiday,
Tyreek. I mean, Rudy
and this
Gay.
is a career season for Rudy Gay too. I don't think people have really looked at the numbers.
No one looks at Sacramento,
but
that's the issue.
This is his best season
statistically.
I mean, his shooting percentage is about even with his. I think it was 10, 11. He is a little bit down on shooting percentage, but he's averaging more points, about the same rebounds. He's having a career season. He's at easily his best efficiency rating.
Yeah.
So interesting move by the Pelicans.
Dubbies.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, you also have to remember how much of that was Rondo. Rondo is making the Sacramento Kings a really good team.
Rondo.
Really, really.
He had another
good
triple-double
team.
last night.
Leading the
Shot
league in
the
assists.
Shot the ball poorly, but he had a good triple-double.
Also, he's taking a lot more shots this season, isn't he?
Yes, he's more aggressive.
And it's showing. He took that team, and that's a Western Conference team. too.
That's a team that was they had the 6th pick in the draft last year. They weren't very good last year.
No, Rondo is making everybody on that team. DeMarcus Cousins. Can we talk about DeMarcus Cousins, about how much he's going on? I mean, they have a little big 3, and it's working really well for them.
It is.
And they're actually in good year contention. I mean, Rudy Gay's a little bit older, then you got Rondo, then you got Boogie's a little bit younger. Cauley Stein and Ben McLemore running the back.
No, it's not even Ben McLemore. It's the most unlikely heroes. It's Omri Caspi and Marco Bellinelli.
They just have a good group of.
They've had
27,
numerous amount of 20-point
26-year-olds.
games each.
Mm-hmm.
They're both playing amazing basketball.
They're not a young team, but they're not an old team. They're a good middle-aged team.
It kind of makes you wonder if the Kings are going to be relevant anytime soon.
We're hoping.
All right, so
Next.
yeah, I think the only thing we have really left is the 10th anniversary of Kobe's 81-point game.
We don't really want to talk.
Jeff, do you want to talk about that at all?
I mean, what can we say?
I mean,
Congrats, Kobe! Hey, 10 years later.
Quick shout out
Woo!
to Kobe Bryant, 81-point game, second most in NBA history. Monk, you have something to say?
No. I was just kind of still looking at the Sacramento thing.
All right,
They are 7-3 last 10 and on a 4-game winning streak.
All right, let's talk about let's forget the next topic. Let's go to the MVP so far this season. Let me throw some names out there. You say yes or no, and then we'll kind of get why after. So Steph Curry, you think he's an MVP candidate? I know Connor's going to say no just to be difficult because on NBA Conflict that would have been a great question. But because Connor's going to say Draymond Green. And that's and okay.
I-
Jeff. All right, better MVP, Draymond Green or Steph Curry? Go.
Steph Curry.
Okay, Jeff.
Steph,
I'm gonna say Draymond Green.
Actually, if we were talking about MVP of the Warriors, it has to be Draymond Green
This year. Yeah, it's Draymond Green.
I don't know about that. I say most.
I'm not talking.
Most improved player on the Warriors is Draymond Green.
Yeah.
By far.
No.
Statistically, it's not that much better, is it?
Oh, it is though. He had what 4 combo games, like 10, 10, 10, 5, and 5. That's insane.
Well, Draymond can only, people can only have so much Curry before they get a little Draymond.
Oh! Breaking! They already have it. Oh, wait. Yep. The new head coach is their assistant coach, Tyronn Lue.
What?
All right, so Tyronn Lue, he played with the Lakers in 2001 when they went to the Sixers. Tyronn Lue was the assistant coach for the Cavaliers, and he has reportedly signed a multi-year deal to be the head coach of the Cavaliers. So all that Tom Thibodeau talk, forget about it. Tyronn Lue, you heard it here first. Tyronn Lue the new head coach of the Cavaliers. We're still working up to see what the details of the deal are, to see how many years, how much money it's worth. Google it.
Wow.
So Jeff, you want to break that down? Good move, bad move with the Cavaliers.
I mean, I guess it's a good move because you have a familiar face as your coach.
Other teams have done this. The Rockets have J.B. Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies head coach.
My thing is the Cavs are the top team in the East.
It's David Yeager. What? The Cavs are the top team in the East. But
why are you throwing
did you
them
think that they were going to beat do you think they were going to beat the Warriors or the Spurs?
If
or the Thunder?
Kyrie gets it going, yeah.
No.
Oh, yes.
I don't believe it. Not the way David Batt played. Not in his system. His system didn't fit the players he had, and instead of I'm telling you now, the Warriors game probably made them panic. And in NBA situations like this, the players are never the blame. It's always on the head coach, and it's unfair, but it's fair at the same time.
Yeah.
If you're the coach of the number 1 team in the East,
and
you probably shouldn't be losing by 40 points to a team that you took to Game 6 in the finals just a couple months ago.
Well, and honestly, that was one on. If you go on the NBA app, they do say one of the reasons Blatt was fired was for firing back against criticism he took because of that 40-point loss to Golden State.
Yeah.
So basically, Golden State beat them so bad they got their coach fired. Because they literally won by 40, and the guy got
in that situation, you have to put that on your. You can't. If you're the coach, you can't blame the players.
Did he blame the players? You can't take something like that to media.
Mm-hmm. No. And in the press conference, he got very defensive about whether it was his fault or not.
Yeah.
And that was after beating the Clippers. Somebody asked another question. I think he was just fed up at that point. And yeah.
David Blatt, do you think he is a guy that's going to get another shot in the league? Because personally, I don't think he's going to get another shot.
It's hard to say, really, with the team.
I think he'll go back overseas.
It's tough because you look at him, his NBA record, his record wins and losses is fantastic, and he went to the finals.
So was Eric Spoelstra's.
Eric Spoelstra's still a coach in the NBA.
I know.
Can you think of a team that would fit his coaching style?
Maybe Phoenix. I think maybe Phoenix, when Jeff Hornacek is going to be gone at the end of the year, 90% of the sure, so maybe Phoenix.
So Tyronn Lue has signed a 3-year deal.
Do you know what's
with
worth?
the Cavs? It does not have the money.
So Tyronn Lue locked up through the 2019 season.
Tyronn Lue was actually the one. He was number 1 in running for the head job in 2014.
Oh,
and then they hired Blatt.
And then he got the assistant.
So they decided to hire Blatt and give him the assistant, and even though he was in the running for the first one.
One thing I will say about Tyronn Lue is, well, first of all, have you ever seen the video of Allen Iverson in the finals where he steps over the guy? Yeah. That's Tyronn Lue.
No.
Tyronn Lue is the guy AI stepped over.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy with dreads.
Right. Yep. Sorry, Cavs. The Warriors are about to step over you.
Okay, but anyway though,
we gotta go.
Tyronn Lue. One thing I'll say about him is that LeBron always looks very happy around Tyronn Lue. So I think LeBron definitely influenced the decision of the Cavaliers to hire him. All right. You have something to add?
No.
All right. Well,
I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked.
Quick congratulations to Avery Wayne on his anniversary. 5 months.
And getting a new coach.
All right.
And getting a new coach.
Got a new coach, Avery.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Ballers NBA Talk, episode 7. Thank you. Peace. Ah!